going on, guys? As you guys can see, it's pretty crappy out. But the plan is today is to go to Robbys. Robbie got a new house with like a new shop area and everything, so he wanted me and Mark to swing through and check everything out. So we're gonna go out there right now, and then he also wants to basically teach us a little bit about how to replace lifters and how to make them basically like newer. So that's a little how-to that we're gonna do today, is how to fix your lifters. So that's pretty cool. Basically, also what's pretty sick is that I found out about my car, my daily. The daily is actually getting fixed as we speak. Z-Bruhz sent that quarter panel, the rear quarter panel, all the way from Georgia up here to Mass. So basically, kaputs is they cut off what they need to cut off, and they're replacing it as we speak. So they're saying it should be about a week and a half. So that's what I'm waiting for. So hopefully the daily will be ready to go. But I guess we're gonna head out to Robbys right now. So just got the Robbys. Look at all this room for activities. And look what he's already doing. It's back apart. I just come in here. This dude's already got this girl apart again. And then
we're gonna do some lifters.
Yeah, we're gonna go over some lifters. Like I told you guys earlier, he's gonna show us all the steps, what he's been doing. But I haven't been able to show you guys this yet. So we actually met a kid at one of the drift events, and he was drifting this. And then basically like, he blew it up, right?
Yeah, he blew it up, bouncing off $9,000 with the wrong kind of oil in it. All sorts of goodies.
Yeah, so he blew this girl up, and then what did you trade him?
I traded him my daily Audi.
The daily Audi, yeah.
Because I had a motor to just throw in this thing.
Yeah. So you had the motor from the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the motor from the truck.
It was originally from my buddy's White Z that I did a twin turbo swap on.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, that motor's just been sitting in there, so I was just gonna refresh it up a little bit. Now that I'm doing the lifters on this, I'm thinking about cleaning up the lifters on that, just because I know it's been sitting.
Mine as well.
Well, it's right there. Just about, so.
You have some speaker crap, right? That you want to get rid of? Did you get rid of them yet? Yeah, I'll put it up right now.
In the back there.
So he's got this set up right here. For the 2+0, right? This is for 2+0?
Yeah, it's 2+0. It's a custom speaker.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, so I'll pull this out, and then so I can show you guys, so we can get that sold for Robbie, because Robbie he's a more power guy, not like a sound and style guy. So we'll figure that out, but I'll see if I can get you some like area for this. But this thing is clean, carbon fiber too. Yeah. So this is the setup for the 2+0 speaker system that I was telling you guys about. So this is all custom made. So you have this part, and then we actually have this part that goes over like the strut towers and everything in the rear. It comes with all the speakers that you got, subs, everything. So it's got like a full setup of some sick stuff.
It's a nice unit. It even matches the stock leather interior.
Yeah, it's the same color. Literally like the same exact color as the stock.
Pretty much the same material. You wouldn't even tell that this is a custom one piece right here all the way around.
Oh, that is. Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
All right, so it even comes with this, too.
They went into detail with this thing.
Yeah, this thing is no joke. The kid said he got it from Florida, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Florida car. Yeah. So this whole setup you guys can buy off Robbie. We'll post it up. You guys send me some emails, and then we'll get it sold. But like I said, this stuff is legit. So and I know it did work, because I remember the kid bumping it too. So basically what we're doing right now, we're trying to clean up the shop a little bit. Mark's trying to battle with this. It's pretty funny. So he already got one off. He broke both the bolts off that one, but he's just working on this one. You want me to step on this turd?
I'm gonna mock up my own test pipes from these, because they're good bends. There it goes.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah, pop goes the weasel.
All right, so now we're gonna get into the lifters with Robbie. So here we go.
All right, ladies. Obviously, in order to get to the lifters, you got to pull the camshafts out. Pull the camshafts out. The timing belt's got to come off. The intake and the valve covers, obviously. So once you get to the camshafts, you pull these caps off. You want to make sure that you keep them in order so that they just keep them in order.
Wear patterns.
Yeah, for the
patterns
wear
are already
patterns,
broken
exactly.
in.
Yeah, they're already broken in, whatever. Once you pull off the caps, get the camshaft out. You just lift up on it gently. You get to the lifters here. These are the lifters. You need a magnet. Stick it on there, pull it out. That's it.
So now at the bench, he's got them lined up. So this is what they'll look like when you take them out.
Yeah, these are what they look like when they're out. I've already got some over here that are cleaned up, ready to be put together. These ones are already put together, ready to go in. But we're gonna show you how to pull them apart. Take the lifter here. You want to do this on a block of wood so that you don't damage the surface here on the lifter. So you basically just take this and you smack it. Sometimes it might take a couple tries, but you want this piston here in the center to drop down. It'll be about flush with the base of the lifter there. I've got the piston popped down now. Now what you want to do is you want to take some pliers and gently, you don't want to ruin this. I mean, they're pretty sturdy, so you don't have much to worry about. But you basically just grab it, you twist and pull. And there you go. That's the piston inside there. I got oil all over my hand. But inside the lifter bucket here, there's a little cap. This thing, what you want to do, move it over, stick a little magnet down inside there. It comes right out. Set that off to the side with the lifter bucket. It's all nasty and oily. Then you work with the piston here. You got this piston, doesn't want to squeeze, all right, because of the hydraulic fluid in there. It's not allowing it to compress. What you got to do, if you can see inside there, there's a little check ball.
Yep.
You poke it with the your little pick tool here, and it compresses. You work the oil out of there. All right. And then you should be able to grab it and pull it apart. And then you have the center here of the piston. You got the spring. And then the top cap for that piston.
So basically when he finishes with that, this is what you're going to come up with for each lifter.
Yep. You're going to want to line them up so that you got them all organized. I mean, it's not going to matter because you're going to end up throwing them in the bucket. You just take all the pieces, toss them in the bucket here, get them all ready. Then you dip them in the chemical dip, let them sit for a few hours, overnight, whatever. Once they're done, you pull them out, and then you line them up. You get all the pieces organized and everything so you know what you're working with. And then when you put it together, you want a little cup of oil.
So basically the oil that we used for that little cap when we do all these is 10W30. So that's what we used for pressurizing all these.
All right, so before you dip this in the oil and start assembling everything, there's a little ring that goes around the top of this smaller bucket here, and there's a gap in the center of it if you can find it. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you can take it and... Oh, that's not even the gap. You want to make sure you can take it and you can rotate the ring. I don't know if this pick's going to work. Yeah, the pick's too wide. You need a really skinny pick. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that this ring here can rotate and spin around. You want to break all that carbon deposit up on the inside of that ring and free that up, because this ring here is what seats the piston inside the lifter bucket and locks it inside there. If this doesn't lock and doesn't seal, then the piston's not going to stay inside there and you're going to have issues. What you do is drop that right in there. Just coat it with oil. Set that off to the side. You're going to do that to the center piece here with the check ball too. All right. Do that with the spring too. Put the spring in the bucket, in this smaller bucket first. There's a little groove inside there so that it sits centered inside the bucket. You don't want it up off to one side or the other because it's not gonna seat properly. But then you take this, with the check ball side and you point it down so that you have both buckets facing the same direction. Oop. All right, see, now it's starting to slide in.
Yep.
Take the pick, you hit the check ball so that it closes. I like to flip it upside down here and poke the check ball and work it a little bit. And you pull the pick out with it compressed and you slowly let it extend and you're good there. Once you got it here, where'd that socket go? This will work. You need a socket that's larger than this, but smaller than the inside of this diameter here, and I'll show you why. Take the little piston assembly there, fill it up with some oil. It's a little end cap here, stick on the top. Seal off that cylinder. Now, you take the lifter bucket and you set it over top. And the reason it needs to be smaller than the lifter bucket is because you're going to push this piston up inside here because that piston doesn't sit flush with the bottom, so you want to push it past what the table is going to allow you to push it to. So you use the socket. It should go together pretty easy. You'll hear a little pop. Not a little pop, but it popped together. And you should be able to compress it a little bit. Once the car is running, these will pressurize and you'll have no issues with them. All right.
So what is the reasoning for doing this?
I decided to do it on my Z because my car is running a little funny. I believe I have a couple collapsed lifters.
So a collapsed lifter it's not using that spring. It's basically just stuck.
A collapsed lifter, a good lifter, when it's pressurized, you can't push this in because it's got hydraulic fluid in there and the hydraulic fluid's not gonna allow it to compress. So it holds that piston out when it's good. When the hydraulic lifter is bad, this is spongy all the time. So when the camshaft's coming around and hitting the top of this, it's just basically hitting a sponge. So it's not pushing the valve down as far as it needs to if it is pushing it down. So these need to stay pressurized and need to stay full of fluid.
All right, guys. So as you guys can see, that's basically what you're gonna have to do to replace a lifter or like rebuild them if you guys are gonna do that. Huge thank you to Robbie for having us come down and hang out at his new shop, and thanks for him to like breaking that down for us, and hopefully it'll be helpful for you guys. So going on from there, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.